really don't care what happens to us at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
Nobody expected the daughter to take the stand, but when she did, the entire courtroom froze. Iman, the man who always spoke the loudest in every room, the man who built his reputation on never backing down, suddenly had no words left to throw. There was no rage on his face, no dramatic outburst to flip the moment in his favor, just silence so deep you could feel it pressing against the walls. Her words didn't just sting. They cracked something wide open that no lawyer could stitch back together, no spin could hide. This wasn't the same old family drama people whispered about online. This was betrayal exploding in real time, a truth too sharp to ignore. And if you think it ended there, you're wrong, because what she revealed in those few moments flipped every lie on its head and left the world hungry for the next truth to fall. The plan that day was simple: sit through another hearing, shuffle some papers, argue a few points, and get out without anything messy slipping through the cracks. But all that shattered the second Teyana's daughter stood up, shoulders squared like she'd carried the weight of grown-up secrets for too long. Her voice shook when she started, but she didn't back down. And once she found her strength, nobody in that room could look away. She didn't even glance at her mother. She locked her eyes right on Iman like he was the only person she came there to face. Witnesses say the words she spoke couldn't be blocked by any lawyer's objection, couldn't be scrubbed clean by any fancy statement later. She told him, clear as day, that the truth would crawl out whether he liked it or not. And when she dropped the line, "Stop acting like you're innocent. You know what you did," you could feel every breath in that courtroom catch in people's throats. Even the people waiting outside for a quote heard the shock echo down the hall. By the time she stepped down, the mood had flipped on its head. What was supposed to be another day in court turned into the opening scene of a war that's nowhere near done spilling out. For years, Iman and Teyana sold perfection like it was their personal brand. Perfect family portraits in glossy magazines, holiday cards with big smiles and matching outfits, interviews with cheesy lines about forever. But people close enough to hear the late-night fights and slammed doors knew that picture was a lie painted bright for strangers. When the daughter stood in that courtroom and spoke her truth, that perfect image cracked wide open for everyone to see. Some say she'd begged them for years to stop the fights behind closed doors, to stop lying to the world while pretending everything was fine. Maybe they didn't listen, but that day, she made sure everyone else did. Now fans are digging up old videos with fresh eyes, watching stiff hugs, forced laughs, awkward pauses that look a lot different now that the curtain's been ripped down. It wasn't just Iman who felt the hit, it was everyone who ever believed the fairy tale they posed for on red carpets and couches. And the deeper people look, the more they are realizing just how many secrets that smile was hiding all along. Iman has never been one to sit quiet when rumors fly. He's famous for shutting down gossip with fiery lives, for dragging critics through the mud when they test him. He's the man who made silence look weak, until that moment in court when silence was all he had left. Witnesses say when his daughter locked eyes with him and dropped that truth, his whole body stiffened like he wanted to stand and roar back. But no roar came. Instead, he stared at the floor, jaw tight, fists balled so hard his knuckles turned pale. His lawyer leaned in, whispering frantically like words could patch up what was already spilling out. But you can't spin silence, and the cameras caught every second of it. The same internet that once cheered Iman for being the loudest man in the room turned his hush into memes before court even let out for lunch. For the first time, the voice he used to control every narrative failed him, and the only thing louder than his silence was the truth he couldn't bury. After the daughter stepped down, chaos bloomed like wildfire. The courtroom, moments ago so still, buzzed with gasps, whispers, and the frantic shuffle of papers. Teyana sat stone calm, arms crossed, face unreadable. Maybe she knew this moment was coming, maybe she'd spent sleepless nights wondering if her daughter would ever speak. Iman's side didn't waste a second, lawyers scrambling to file motions, shouting for the judge to strike words that couldn't be unsaid. But outside those courtroom walls, it was too late. Reporters had already sent the story racing down phone screens before the judge even ruled. Some family members slipped out the back, ducking flashing cameras and questions they didn't want to answer. Online, old friends who once stayed neutral picked sides with shady posts and sly comments about truth always winning in the end. Rumors now swirl that Iman may be forced to testify himself, something he's dodged for months by hiding behind carefully polished statements. If more secrets spill under oath, the perfect brand he spent years building might be gone in a heartbeat. The internet didn't waste a heartbeat. By the time court recessed, the clip of the daughter's tense standoff with her father had already begun to spread like wildfire. Within hours, it was everywhere, looped, slowed down, cut into dramatic edits set to trending audio, spliced with reaction shots of Iman's cold, unreadable expression. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Every platform lit up with commentary, duets, think pieces, and memes. Some videos went viral within minutes, racking up millions of views before the day was done. People weren't just watching. They were choosing sides, projecting their own pain, anger, and unresolved family wounds onto a situation they barely knew, but felt deeply invested in. Half of social media rose to their feet for the daughter. To them, she was a symbol, a brave, raw, unfiltered voice cutting through a mess of adults too concerned with controlling the narrative to actually fix what was broken. They called her the only honest person in the room, the one who refused to be silenced, the one who said what so many children of broken homes wished they had been able to say. Her courage became a rallying cry. Users flooded timelines with stories of their own trauma, screenshots of her testimony, and messages of solidarity. Strangers praised her for speaking truth to power, for not being afraid to name the hurt, even when that hurt wore the face of someone loved. But the other half wasn't convinced. A darker narrative began to form, one that cast Teyana in a manipulative light. People accused her of weaponizing her daughter, of pushing her to the stand with rehearsed lines and emotional blackmail. They said she used her child to win a battle she was losing in court and in public opinion. Threads unraveled timelines, dug up old interviews, pieced together clips and posts. Anything that might suggest this was all part of a carefully constructed plan. Critics claimed it was strategic, even cruel, to put a child in the middle of such a destructive fight, regardless of how true her words may have been. Meanwhile, meme culture did what it always does, turned pain into entertainment. Images of Iman's blank face were frozen and captioned into oblivion. When you realize the NDA didn't cover your kid, read one post. Another showed him staring into space, with the caption, "That moment when the group chat starts leaking in court." Ruthless edits popped up on fan pages and gossip accounts, edits that blended courtroom footage with dramatic music and Hollywood-like visuals. What should have been a moment of emotional gravity turned into viral content, dissected for clout. And the digging didn't stop there. Old videos from years ago resurfaced, interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, family vlogs, red carpet appearances, all being combed through like forensic evidence. Fans and self-proclaimed body language experts began dissecting every stiff smile, every awkward hug, every sidelong glance. Moments that once seemed normal were now seen as clues, proof of tension, coldness, or hidden truths lurking beneath the surface. In hindsight, people were building a case, brick by brick, from moments they had previously scrolled past without a second thought. Behind closed doors, insiders say Iman's camp is scrambling. His team is reportedly in full-blown panic mode, trying to decide whether to respond publicly or wait it out. Do they come out swinging with a rebuttal, a statement, maybe even a countersuit? Or do they stay silent, hoping the daughter won't speak again and the fire eventually burns out? It's a risky game. Too much silence might look like guilt, but speaking out could pour gasoline on an already raging fire. The wrong move could cost him everything. At the same time, whispers from Teyana's circle suggest that their calm isn't just confidence, it's calculated. Some believe they are sitting on even more evidence. Messages, recordings, maybe even videos. Nothing confirmed, but the energy suggests they know something that hasn't come out yet, and they are willing to let the truth drip out slowly, piece by piece, until there's no defense left. It's not just about proving who's right anymore. It's about exposing every layer, every lie, every moment that's been hidden behind the facade of a picture-perfect family. Fans are hooked. They are not just watching, they are participating. Every scroll brings new theories, leaked audio, blurred screenshots that claim to be proof, and endless speculation about what's coming next. They are hungry for answers, for justice, for more. It's no longer about celebrity gossip. It's a saga, a full-blown digital court of public opinion, with millions of people acting as judge and jury. The next court date looms large, with rumors flying that the next hearing could blow the entire case wide open. There's talk of more testimony, perhaps even from Iman himself. If he takes the stand, every word he says could shift the tide. One heartfelt moment might redeem him. One misstep could bury him. And if the daughter speaks again, if she steps back into that courtroom with more to say, it could be devastating. Insiders claim she's ready, that she's found a strength nobody expected. that there's no fear left in her, just a need to be heard. No matter how this ends, it's already changed everything. The glossy image of a perfect family has shattered. All that remains is a mess of broken trust, public performance, whispered truths, and one young girl's voice that somehow rose above all the noise. Whether she was pushed to speak or stepped forward on her own, one thing is certain: she changed the narrative. And in doing so, she exposed the cost of keeping up appearances in a world that's always watching, always ready to turn your truth into their entertainment. So here's the question: who do you believe now? The daughter, who stood up and said what no adult dared to say. Iman, who's built his name on speaking loud but sat speechless when it counted most. Or Teyana, who some swear pulled every string behind the scenes. Drop your wildest theory down below. Who's hiding what? Who's lying through polished smiles? And who's about to break when the next secret leaks? If you want every drop of this messy truth the second it hits, you know what to do. Stick around, because this storm is only getting wilder. This wasn't just a testimony, it was a bomb that silenced the loudest man in the room and changed the story they tried so hard to control. And when Iman finally breaks that silence, you better believe it won't just break the internet. It might break him too.